And we are live. This is UFC Bro Picks. We're doing UFC Fight Night 129, UFC Chile, Usman versus Maia. This is Bro Picks. This is Ricky.
What's up, guys? We're back. This is Justin, and we have a pretty good card on free TV for UFC Chile. And before we talk about it, let's talk about last card. Yeah, man. We both had losing nights for betting. I had I believe a minus 5.5 units on the night, so it's a 2 card losing streak for me. Let's talk about my bets. So I went 1-3. I cashed on Kelvin. It was a close fight. Kelvin versus Souza was a very close fight. Souza took him down in the first round. I thought he was going to tap him out. Kelvin showed some heart and then, dropped him in the second round. And then the third round was pretty close, but I do think Kelvin won the fight. Kelvin was the guy that, went forward. And I think Souza just looked, like he was done. And I think that's one reason why he lost the fight, because he looked like an old man out there. So we'll see who he fights next. I'm a big fan of both of these guys. We'll see. Before you talk about it, your plays, I also lost in Kelleher. You did too. Yeah, man. I mean, he wasn't ready for Lineker, so it was a bad bet. I'm a fan of Kelleher, and I did think that he could take him down, and kind of control him, but that wasn't the case. Lineker showed up, but yeah, man, Lineker will be faded soon. Depends who he fights, but I think Cody Stamann would beat him. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but I do think Cody Stamann will beat him. My other 2 plays, I think, would see, yeah, Sean Strickland. I don't even want to talk about that. Hats off to everybody that Zaleski. No one saw that coming. I didn't see that coming, and Zaleski smoked him. That was pretty impressive. And then Carl Robertson in the distance. I mean, he wasn't ready for Hera. So yeah, what about you?
Yeah, man, I had a losing night as well. Lost on Kelleher. Like you said, he wasn't ready. Still not too sold on Lineker, though. I still think his takedown defense is whatever, but Kelleher's wrestling just wasn't good enough. Next, the other losing bet was on Jacare. Like you said, won the first round, lost the second round. Third round was a close one. Kelvin's chin is made of granite, dude. I think that's also what it is. It's like, dude, Jacare was landing some bombs, but the fact that, like, it doesn't phase Kelvin, you know what I mean? And, like, the shots that Kelvin was landing doing a little, I guess, were a little bit more significant than Jacare's. So that won him the third round, I guess, even though it could have been the same amount of strikes. I think Kelvin was doing a little more damage. Jacare was just way too tired. Good bet on you. It was a close fight, split decision, but definitely going to learn from this one, trying to stay away from these close bets, maybe pay attention to more of the age a little bit. I knew Jacare was on the decline, but I should have put more at stake. But he was 38 years old, dude. I didn't realize he was that old. When I saw the tail of the tape, I was like, oh, shit. Like, I was kind of worried when I saw he was 38. So good bet for you, Kelvin Cash. Not mad at the decision. So, yeah, man, it's a good bet. But Davi Ramos Cash, at least I had one bet that went well. His jiu-jitsu looked amazing. The back take was beautiful. And, yeah, so I was minus 3.85 units for the night. 2-card losing streak like you, and I'm ready to turn it around, man. But, hey, other than that, it was a great night. It was a great fight, great night of fights. Main event was pretty good, too. What's her name? Amanda Nunes just fucked up Rocky Pennington for like 5 rounds straight. Rocky wanted to quit. Her corner didn't let her. I don't think that was that bad, because at least now, if Rocky looks back at her career when she fought the championship fight, at least she can go back and say that she didn't quit and that she gave it her all. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about her corner not stopping that fight?
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like a lot of people out there are kind of like 50-50 about it. I think that, the corner did the right decision. Rocky even addressed it, that she's happy that, her corner didn't make her quit, like you said. And I mean, I think it was the right decision. So a lot of people are going to say that, oh, I think that was, a terrible move. I don't think it was a bad move. Rocky's a very tough girl, and they wanted to give her a chance to, win the 5th round, because I mean, Amanda's, was face it, she does gas in fights. So I mean, Rocky was losing that fight for sure, but hey, they didn't want to tell her like, hey, just quit, you're done. So I think it was right. Let's see, any other
All
fights
right.
you want to talk about in this card?
That's it, man. I'm ready to call. I'm ready to make these picks.
Two things real quick before we go to the next card. Mackenzie Dern. Um, you know what? Honestly, man, if she cleans up her diet, I do think that she could, have some. I think she could be a top 15 girl, dude. Honestly, I'm not gonna say she's gonna be a champ, but dude, she's a beast, man. On the ground, she dropped Cooper. She needs to get her shit together for sure, but she's no jobber, dude. I think that she can win a lot of these fights in the division. So I mean, she will be faded though, when she fights, like Herrig, Felice Herrig would dominate her. We'll talk about we'll see who fights her, but I do think that she's not bad. She's pretty decent. Cooper's terrible. ABC is trash. I'm gonna fade her. She's so bad, dude. Terrible. One more thing I want to say. Oh, the Vitor Belfort KO, that was pretty crazy. The Ramos bet. Nobody bet Ramos besides you. To be honest, on MMA Twitter, I think you're the only person that bet him. So congrats. If anyone else bet him, put it in the comments below. Yeah, man. So the Joker fight versus Laprise. That was a crazy fight. That was a very interesting fight.
Awesome.
I got to, Joker, showed a lot of heart in that fight. Congrats to everybody that cashed on him. I thought Waitis was going to win. Waitis dropped the ball and showed that he needs to get faded really soon because he's probably going to, be retiring pretty soon. But enough about this card. Let's talk about Chile. Okay, so the first fight of the night, we got Claudio Puelles versus Felipe Silva. And, the line's pretty accurate. Silva's a pretty big favorite. Claudio's a dog. This is a huge pass for me because I'm not going to be playing the favorite at minus 300. He did get smoked his last time out against Taisimov, but I mean, that's Taisimov. He was undefeated before that. He's a brawler, man. He has pretty good stand up. I don't think he's a jobber, but I don't think Claudio is that good at all. You saw his fight with Bravo, and he looked terrible, man. He couldn't take him down. His striking is not good. He's a young kid, so I mean, he might have improved. But there's no way I trust him here. I think Silva's going to go out there and get a finish, but I'm not confident, in playing the minus 300. But yeah, I like Silva for DraftKings, and I think he, gets a finish. I just think he's a lot better than Claudio. I just don't think Claudio's UFC material. And even though I don't see Silva's going to be like a top 20 guy, a top 25, I do think that he's good enough to be in the UFC. So I got Silva. What about you?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the line has it pretty right. I don't want to play it at minus 300 though. Felipe Silva, he's a Brazilian. He's a 9-1. Like you said, he got knocked out pretty bad by Taisimov. But before that, he had a pretty good KO against Shane Campbell. That fight against Taisimov was pretty quick, man. He just got caught. And opposed to who he's fighting, though, he's fighting Claudio Puelles, who I think he was like on the Ultimate Fighter or something like that. And then on the fight night, he couldn't take down Martin Bravo. Martin Bravo is kind of a small lightweight as well, probably even a featherweight. Couldn't take him down. Bravo started lighting him up, and eventually he kind of quit in there, and he kind of just dropped to the floor, shelled up, and kind of gave up like right then and there. I don't think he's a UFC material. Felipe Silva might be, so this is so the line does have it right. It's too much for me to play though, so I will probably have Felipe Silva in my DraftKings lineup as well. I think he's probably going to get the finish, but I'm not going to bet it with the line that it's at. So yeah, all right, next fight. Felipe Silva is my pick, and I got him with the finish. Next fight, we got Enrique Briones versus Frankie Saenz. Frankie Saenz, man, he's been in there with some pretty good people. He has a lot of experience on his hands. Pretty well-rounded fighter. Just coming off of that split decision win over Marab, the guy Marab, Marab's really good takedown guy. He landed some takedowns, really didn't do any damage though. Frankie Saenz is landing the more devastating shots. Frankie Saenz and Enrique Briones are pretty much both kind of sucky. They're not that good. I do think Briones is the worst fighter out of the two, though. He got subbed by Ronnie Yaya. He got knocked out by Douglas Andrade. So I'm going to have to go with Frankie Saenz for the win. What about you?
Yeah, man, I agree. I'm actually pretty shocked that, Briones made it, all 3 rounds with Garbrandt, at that time, Garbrandt was, sweeping everybody. And I'm surprised, Briones actually looked decent in that fight. I know he lost every round, but, he definitely, didn't look like a scrub out there. And, he's definitely on the decline. He got knocked out against Douglas Silva and Andrade. Saenz is definitely on the decline too. He's old. He's taking a lot of damage. He gets dropped every fight. The favorite fight was actually really impressive, actually. And I just think that Saenz is a better guy. I think he can win takedowns. I think he might be better on the feet. I don't think Briones is is UFC material anymore. I think that he's going to get faded if he gets another fight after this. So yeah, I got Frankie Saenz. I think he's the all-around better fighter, but not a bet for me. Next fight, we got Enrique Barzola versus Brandon Davis. Initially, I was very high on Barzola here. I think he's a really good featherweight. He's underrated. One thing that I don't like about him is that he makes fights very close. And the fight with Boschinac, I don't know how Boschinac won that fight, but he makes fights very close. So obviously it was a robbery, but when you bet on a guy like Barzola, he's going to make it close. And when he fought Benitez, Benitez, was winning on the feet. He took Benitez down like 10 times, but every time he got right back up. And then to end the fight, Benitez, dropped him. And then, I think he might have won that round because of that. Barzola, he's in your face, pressure fighter. I do think that he should fight a bantamweight. he's a small featherweight, so he was calling out Zabit. And he could beat Zabit, but he's just so much smaller than him, so I don't know. Brandon Davis trains with Jason Knight. He's a striker. He's going to be the bigger guy out there. If he keeps it on the feet, it's going to be interesting. I think he could actually win this fight. But Barzola is just, he's such a good wrestler, man. I think he's going to rinse and repeat and take him down. So I got Barzola. If you bet on him, though, be worried about, making the fight close. And because if Davis keeps him on the feet, Davis could definitely win this fight. Davis is a very good striker. He's Jason Knight's striking coach. He's looked pretty good so far in the UFC. But yeah, I got Barzola. I think he's going to go out there and get a 29-28 decision. What about you?
Yeah, I got Barzola as well too. He's coming off a 3-fight win streak, so he's got momentum on his side. He does like to make fights close, though, man. I don't know. He's just pretty good at everything. He's got good striking, good pace, keeps that pace, and it's good enough to win him decisions. He's not a devastating hitter, so he doesn't drop people on his ass, but he does find a way to win. So that's pretty good too. He's going to be fighting Brandon the Killer B Davis, who, like you said, is a Jason's Knight striking coach, but I don't know if it's saying much. So we'll see how he does. I got Barzola on this one. All right, next fight. Humberto Bandenay versus Gabriel Benitez. Humberto has one fight in his UFC. He's 14-4. It wasn't pretty impressive knockout against Martin Bravo. He's training at Timo Yama now, so I'm interested to see how he is. He's going to be fighting Gabriel Benitez, who has a lot more experience in his side. He's been fighting in the UFC a lot more. Fought in the Ultimate Fighter Latin America. He has a win over Jason Knight, Sam Cecilia. He was able to, but when he fought Jason Knight didn't seem like the same Jason Knight. He was kind of hesitant to strike. So I don't know, man. I'm not really putting that much weight on that win. Gabriel Benitez, I think he's okay, you know. Um, so it's kind of a trap fight to me. I do think Gabriel Benitez should win this fight. You know, he's got the UFC experience. He's beat the better competition. But I don't know. This guy, Humberto, can bang, you know, and now that he's training at Team Oyama, you know, with guys like Chito Vera, I think he's going to show some improvements. So I don't know if I want to bet against him just yet. I kind of want to see how he does on Saturday. But I still got Benitez for the win with the decision. What about you?
Yeah, this is a very interesting fight. You know, Benitez is the better fighter. He's more technical. You know, he has the better kicks. His kicks are, you know, really good. Good hands. That fight with Jason Knight was very interesting. But one thing that's, you know, kind of, you know, keeping me from betting this fight, actually betting Benitez, is the Andre Fili knockout. I mean, Andre Fili knocked him out bad, and you know, Humberto can crack, man. I mean, you know, I know that, you know, he definitely has the less experience. He has a lot of losses by sub, but he's a young, hungry guy, just like Fili was. And I mean, Fili knocked this guy out in like 2 minutes, and it was pretty bad. I'm not saying that he's, you know, Andre Fili level, obviously, but I mean, he has striking, and Fili, you know, is a striker, and this guy, striking's pretty impressive. I don't know who has the grappling advantage. I mean, Benitez doesn't have the best takedown defense. You saw Barzola take him down 10 times. Jason Knight took him down a couple times, but let's be honest, Jason Knight's just not the same guy. Ricardo Lamas changed that guy's life. And we'll be talking about Jason Knight next week when he fights Makwan. But we don't want to get that into it. But yeah, man, even Jason Knight, you know, landed some pretty good shots on Benitez. I mean, can you say Benitez is chinny? I don't know if you say I don't know if you say he's chinny, but I wouldn't count out Humberto. I mean, you know, Humberto's striking is not bad, man. So, but that being said, I do have to go with Gabriel Benitez. You know, he has the more experience. I think he's more well-rounded, and if he keeps it on the feet, it's going to be an interesting fight. But you know, I think he's a more technical guy. I don't know if he's going to finish Humberto, but I think he's going to go out there and get a decision. So I got Gabriel by 29-28. Next fight, we got Poliana Botelho versus Siri Kondo. I did not watch tape for this fight. I don't care for this fight. I'm sorry. I guess I'll go with Botelho. But I'm honestly just flipping a coin. I did not watch any tape and look at this fight. What about you?
Yeah, me either. But to be honest, I think I might research it because I do think Poliano should win this fight. You know, Ciaro didn't really impress me in UFC Fight Night, St. Preux versus Okami. So I definitely want to look into this Poliana girl. She's my pick, but not that much tape has been done. So yeah, man, let's go for the next fight. We got is going to be a banger. Has a potential to be fight of the night, maybe if you ask me. It's Brandon Moreno versus Alexander Pantoja. Both of these guys like to fucking bang, you know. They fought once before in the Ultimate Fighter. Pantoja got the finish, but since then, Moreno has improved a lot. You know, he's got the win over Dustin Ortiz. Dustin Ortiz just recently beat Pantoja. I think he's using his wrestling. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's interesting what's going to happen. I'm going back and forth, but right now I'm going to have to go with Pantoja because I still do think he's better everywhere. Yeah, man, I think he's going to be able to, you know, outstrike him and keep it standing. And even if he does get hit, I do think he can sub him again because I do think he's got better grappling than Moreno. But, I mean, who knows? Look at what happened with Dustin Ortiz. Anything can happen. It's a fight. I was surprised Dustin Ortiz got that win. But I'm going to have to go with Pantoja again. What about you?
Yeah, I'm actually going the other way. I'm going with Moreno. I'm actually thinking about, you know, betting on him. As of right now, I'm not. He's plus money, which is, you know, very good for Moreno. I've actually faded him, you know, with Sergio Pettis. I'm pretty sure you bet Pettis too. And I was sweating in that first round because Moreno, you know, took him down, almost choked him out. This kid's jiu-jitsu is just unbelievable, man. And, you know, one thing that I like about this kid is that, you know, he has good cardio, dude. And Pantoja, dude, gasses, man. I mean, gas versus Dustin Ortiz, he gasses a lot. I know Moreno, you know, kind of gassed when he fought Pantoja, but that was a war, dude. That was a crazy fight back and forth. And I mean, they both improved a lot since then. Moreno had no striking at all. I don't think, on tough, and now his striking's a lot better. He's a very tough dude, good chin too. Pantoja has good striking. I think it's very close on the feet. I think I agree with you. Pantoja has better grappling, but I think that I don't know who has a better jits. I mean, look at the Ortiz fight. Moreno can catch you at any time. So I just think Moreno is going to make this fight, a crazy fight of war. And I actually think he might finish Pantoja. So it's going to be a good fight. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Moreno, man. I can't fade this guy right now. Depends, who he fights, obviously, but Pantoja's not Sergio Pettis. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Moreno. Next fight, we got Zach Cummings versus Michel Prazeres. And this is my first play of the night. I got 4 units on Zach Cummings at -105. And, yeah, this is a very good, fight, I think, for Zach Cummings. I'm a big fan of him. I feel bad for him because, I had a huge bet on him versus Thiago Alves, and he was going to absolutely dominate Thiago Alves. And, unfortunate for him, he hit his head when he was cutting weight, and I think there's like a gash on the back of his head, and they had to, cancel the fight. I feel bad for him. But, yeah, dude, I just think that the size is too much here. Prazeres was a pretty big lightweight, for being a short guy. But let's be honest, that Cummings is a light heavyweight in there, man. The dude is huge. The dude cuts around he walks around like at 210 pounds, 220. He's gonna be way too big. I feel like for Prazeres. And Prazeres is the kind of guy that bullies you every fight. He's looked pretty good at lightweight. I'm not gonna lie, but there's no way he's gonna be able to bully a guy like Zach Cummings. I don't think he's gonna be able to take down Zach Cummings. Zach Cummings doesn't have like a 10-inch reach. He's gonna have to get inside. And let's be honest, Zach Cummings is a very durable guy, very tough guy. He had a very good fight with Ponzi. He won the first round. Ponzi won the second and third round, but that's Ponzi. Ponzi's a top 10 guy. And I think Zach Cummings is a very good left hook. We've seen Prazeres, get dropped before. And I think that Zach Cummings could definitely hurt this guy. On the mat, it's very interesting. Both these guys are black belts. I mean, both their guys' jiu-jitsu is very good. You saw what Zach Cummings did against Yakalov. That was like an inverted triangle or inverted armbar. His signature move is his Darce choke. It's a very good fight, man. But I think that Cummings is going to butcher him on the feet. I think he's going to hurt him on the feet, and I think he's going to get a TKO. So, my big read here is the size. Come on, dude. Prazeres is going to be fighting a light heavyweight, bro. But Prazeres is no slouch, though, dude. He's good. I know this is a tough fight. So, Cummings better show up and, better not disrespect, but not, I think that it's going to be an easy fight because this is the toughest fight, I feel like, of both their guys' career. So,
both their careers, yeah, for sure.
I know that Prazeres beat Tysonov, but that was a very long time ago when Tysonov was very green. The Desmond Green fight, Desmond Green won the first round, and then he gassed, and Prazeres just kind of dominated him. But, I mean, Desmond Green used to fight a featherweight. So let's be honest, Zach Cummings used to fight a light heavyweight. So I just think the size is so big here. So, but yeah, I got Cummings in this fight, and I think he's in a kind of big brother Prazeres and get a finish. What about you?
I'm actually going the other way right now. I'm going with Tractor Prazeres. Dude, I know he's a short guy. He's going to be very short for 170. He was kind of short for 155, but he's a big 55er, man. He's built like a house. He's like the DC of the welterweight division. I mean, look at DC. DC is pretty short for the 205 division, and he's a champ. There's only one person that can beat DC, and that's John Jones. But anyway, back to Tractor. I think being stocky is going to help him with the takedowns, and his top pressure is no joke, dude. You saw what he did with Desmond Green, dude, and his striking is no joke either, man. Like you said, both of these guys this is going to be the best competition I think they've ever faced. But I do think that Prazeres has faced better competition. He beat Tysonov, like you said. That win against Des Green was very impressive. I thought Des Green wrestling was good enough to defend the takedown, but it wasn't. He just couldn't defend the takedown. I just feel like Tractor's just like a tractor, man. He's just too stocky, man. His center of gravity's too low. I don't think Cummings is going to be able to take him down. I think he's going to be able to get the takedown, and he's going to dictate where the fight goes. So I got Prazeres with the decision win. But I do think it can go either way. You're right. The size advantage is crazy, you know. So I'm interested to see how they look when they're staring each other down. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tractor is fighting those guys at the gym already, like big guys like that. So we'll see what happens, man. I got Tractor, but not confident. I do have him in my DraftKings lineup though because I do think he is live. All right, next fight. This is a fight I'm pretty confident in. It's a Vicente Luque. He's like -210. He's gonna be fighting Chad Laprise, who I think was like what? I don't remember, +160, +170 or something like that. I don't know. But I got Vicente Luque all the way, man. You saw what he did to Bilal Muhammad. You saw what he did to what's his name? Your boy Nico Price. You know, he's just really good inside the pocket. He's got really good boxing. He hurts you, and then he's got really good submissions too to get. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. What did he do? He got Nico Price in the Darce after he hurt him on the feet. Chad Laprise is okay. You know, he's got good fight IQ, but I don't think his striking is that good. He's pretty well rounded though. He was able to take down Bofondo pretty well, but let's be honest, who's Bofondo? Like his grappling is horrible. I think that's why he was able to look pretty good. I don't think he's going to be able to do that to Vicente Luque. I think Luque can beat him anywhere the fight goes. He's a better striker, and I think he's even the best. And I know he's a better grappler. He's a legit brown belt. He's not going to be able. Chad Laprise is not going to be able to take him down when he's getting hurt. You know, I think Luque is going to outbox him. If Bofondo can hurt him, Luque is going to knock him out. So I got Luque by finish. What about you?
Yeah, man, Luque is one of my favorite guys in the division. You know, I faded Nico Price with him last fight, and turned out to be a very good fight. You know, right now the line's -210. I'm waiting for the props to come out because I'm going to be betting Luque in the distance. If the line's good, if the line's not good, then I'll probably be just playing him at -210 because he's my most confident pick of the night. Chad Laprise does not belong in there with him. I think that Laprise is, a pretty decent technical striker, but his chin is not going to hold up. I think it's going to be similar to the Bilal situation. Bilal actually has a pretty good chin, but he got smoked. Chad Laprise is kind of chinny. I mean, Bofondo dropped him in the first minute of the fight. Barbarina hurt this guy in the third round. Trinaldo knocked him out. I mean, he's been hurt in multiple fights, and Luque hits like a truck. Luque's combinations, the way he sets up his strikes, his movement. I mean, the way he switches his stances, dude, he's beautiful, man. And if you try to shoot on this kid, dude, he's gonna tap you out. I mean, he has a very good Darce choke. The Leon Edwards fight, was the close fight. I think he lost that fight because he was hesitant. He was hesitant because he was worried about Leon striking. And, it was a very close fight, but, Edwards, won that fight with, the takedowns in the third round. But Leon Edwards is a top 15 guy. Chad Laprise is, not there. And I think Luque is just better, like you said, it's better everywhere. And even if Laprise tries to take him down, it's not safe because, Luque is a beast on the ground. So, in my opinion, there's no way Laprise makes it out of this fight in 3 rounds. I think Luque starches him in the first round. And if you give me plus money in the distance, then that's a gift. So I got Luque all day. So next fight, I believe we got Veronica Macedo versus Andrea Lee. This is a pretty interesting fight. You got Khalil's girlfriend fight Andrea Lee. I don't think Lee's good at all. I think she's super overhyped. She's the LFA former champ or whatever, but I mean, I don't think she's that impressive, decent striking, decent grappling. Veronica, she fought Ashley Evans Smith last fight in her debut, but that was up a weight class. Evan Smith's a pretty big, fighter, man, at bantamweight. And even Veronica hurt her in that fight too, and being in that fight. Yeah, man, Veronica, I think is, the better fighter here, man. I know she's a huge dog. I thought about playing it. I think I'm going to stick to DraftKings, but I think she's going to win. It's a very close fight because, like I said, Angelique's not that impressive, but she's a tough girl. It could go either way. It could be a split. But yeah, I got to go with Veronica, man. I think she has the better striking, and if she keeps it on the feet, she's gonna win. So I got Macedo. What about you?
Thanks. Oh man. To be honest, I don't really know much about this Andrea Lee, but Veronica Macedo isn't that great either. So I'm gonna have to go with Andrea Lee, just because I do think she's a little bit better striker and better everywhere, but I don't know much about her. So Andrea Lee, but she's very likely to drop the ball and grind it out for a decision. So Veronica Lee might be able to grind one out. We got Guido Cannetti, 7-3. He's fighting Diego Rivas, who's 7-1. Diego Rivas, he's from Chile. Now he's fighting at King's MMA, which is a move I really like. I really like it when these fighters that have a lot of potential from South America, where there's not really that many good camps, they come and make their way up to, the U.S. where all the elite MMA camps are at. And, he's making a lot of improvements, and he's just coming off of a loss against Jose Quinones, but after that he had a second round KO on Noad Lahat, as well as a unanimous decision, and he also got a unanimous decision win on Rodolfo Perez. I do have a play on him. I'm getting him 3 units minus 155. Mostly a fade on Guido Cannetti. He's 7-3, but I mean, if you look at him in his UFC career, he's like 2-1. So I don't think he's that good. He's 38 years old, and in this division, like age is like fucking like you want to be very young, especially in this game, especially in the division that he's in. So this is mostly a fade on him. He got choked out in the first round against Chung Hung. He has no jiu-jitsu, no grappling. The loss against Enrique Briones, the loss against Perez, the loss against Marco Beltran. So, I don't think he's that good. I'm going to be betting Diego Rivas, mostly a fade on Guido Cannetti. So, I got Rivas. What about you?
Yeah, man, I agree. I got Rivas too. I didn't look into it that much, but I do think that it's a good fade on Cannetti. Cannetti's done in my opinion. I think he trained the Team Alpha Male. The guy's old. The guy has 1 round in him. Rivas has a better cardio. I think Rivas is better everywhere. So yeah, I got Rivas. Next fight, we got my second player of the night. We got my boy, the Killer Gorilla, Jared Cannonier versus Dominic Reyes, and yeah, I got 4 units on the underdog Cannon, and I think it's a big step up for Reyes. Reyes has fought trash cans. Even the guys before the UFC were huge trash cans. Knocked out Joaquin Christensen, with a lazy, left hook. And yeah, man, that was impressive. Then he went out there and beat Kimball. Kimball, went after him. I think hurt him on the feet, kind of bull rushed him, took his back for like a second, and then Reyes took him down, tapped him out. Kimball's have been tapped out like 100 times, so I'm not surprised. Cannon, dropped the ball for me last fight. I bet him versus Jan. He looked hesitant out there, man. He just didn't throw. I think he was nervous about the takedown or nervous about Jan striking. Jan hurt him, I think, in the second round, dropped him. And then he came out there in the third round, won the round. He actually pressured him. He looked good in that third round. And he actually hurt Jan, I think, a couple times as well. But let's be honest, man. We've made so many jokes on this show about Jan. Jan's the top 5 guy right now in the division. Honestly, he might even be top 3, dude. I mean, I'm not fading Jan, dude, unless he fights John Jones or DC. Jan is for real, dude. He really is. If he fought Volkan right now, I don't even know who I would pick right now. And I'm a huge Volkan fan because Jan's serious, dude.
Volkan smokes him.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll have to watch tape for that and talk about that another time. But yeah, anyways, back on this fight. I think Cannonier's the better striker. I think that he's too fast for this guy. One thing I like about him as well is he's dropping the middleweight 100% after this fight, win or lose. That means that the weight cut's going good. That means that the weight's coming off really good. He says he's in the best shape of his life. He looks good. And I think he's just going to be too fast for Dominic Reyes in the feet, dude. His striking is legit. I know that his takedown defense isn't the best. Reyes definitely has the grappling advantage. Can Reyes take him down? I mean, I don't know if he has better wrestling than Ian Cutelaba. Ian Cutelaba has Greco-Roman wrestling. He took him down maybe 4 or 5 times. And the last time he took him down, Cannon, reversed him. And, that was a very good win for Cannon. Cannon, won the second, third round, won the Terminator mode. And then he beat, Nick Road Trick, whatever. Obviously, Road Trick's on UFC material, but that was still a very good win. And my read on the fight, dude, is striking. I just think that there's, levels in this game. I think Cannon's the more explosive striker, better striking, better combinations, switches his stance good. He's too fast for him, man. I know Reyes doesn't have he's good, not a big, but he's going to be the bigger guy out there. But I think Cannon, starts with him. One more thing before I let you talk is Dominic Reyes has only been out of the first round one time. So who knows how his cardio is going to be. Cannon's a very tough guy, man. He's only been finished one time, and it's against Sean Jordan, who bench presses like 800 pounds. So getting finished against Sean Jordan, one of the biggest heavyweights out there, and that's a heavyweight. That's you can't dock him on that. So if Cannon survives the first round, which I think he's going to do, it's going to be a long night for Dominic Reyes. So there's levels of this, man. And I got Cannon. I think Cannon's going to go out there and knock this guy out. So yeah, what about you?
Yeah, man, I really agree. I really think you make some great points, dude. There's levels to this, dude. This is a big step up to Dominic Reyes. I don't know how he's such a big favorite, man. It's really tempting for me to bet on Cannon as well. The only thing though is, like you said, he's moving the middleweight, so you can tell he's a small light heavyweight, but he's used to fighting heavyweights, so he's gonna last all 3 rounds. The only thing is, like, you can tell he does have a hard time finding his range. You know what I mean? That's why I think he has a hard. He usually takes a little while to like get going. Which was happening with Jan. He was having a hard time finding his range with Jan because Jan kept popping off the jab. So the good thing about Cannon though is that you could tell he's getting better every fight because when Jan took him down, he got up right away. You know what I mean? Versus because when he fought Glover and Glover took him down, he was more accepting with the takedown. But the next fight, you can tell he was working to get back up more. Looking for the cage, walking up the cage. So you can tell this guy's learning every time. So maybe he might even be better. I do think there's levels to this. We've only seen Reyes in the UFC twice. They were against bums. So we'll see how he does, man. I think I got Cannon as well. Like you said, there's levels to this, and I think I got Cannon in my DraftKings lineup, and I'm thinking about making a bet on him as well. All right, next fight. We got Alexa Grasso versus Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez is undefeated in the she was gonna go into like Olympic wrestling for the U.S., but I think got cancer or something like that. Very unfortunate. So she's a warrior. She's a fighter. Alexa Grasso, she has a lot of hype behind her. I think she sucks. She got smoked by Felicia Herrig. She got a split decision win against Marcos, and Marcos, come on, let's be honest. Like, she should have dominantly beat Marcos there. I'm not impressed with Grasso. I think Tatiana Suarez is going to dictate wherever the fight goes. I think she's going to take her down at will. And if she doesn't get the sub, I think it's going to be a dominant decision. There's not much more to break down. I think Tatiana Suarez's wrestling is just going to be way too much for Grasso. Tatiana Suarez is going to make it look easy in there. And there's a reason why she's probably one of the biggest favorites in the card is because I don't really think Grasso is going to be much of a threat to her. I think Maia and Grasso is. So I got Suarez. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got to go with Tatiana Suarez. She lives in the same city as me. We live, in Rancho Cucamonga. She goes to the same 24-hour fitness as me. I mean, come on, dude. I got to go with Tatiana Suarez. She's a very good fighter. She's, probably one of the best grapplers in the division, probably the best prospect in the division. Her grappling is very good. You saw her last fight against an undefeated girl. She went out there and dominated her and won every round. The only question mark about her is her striking. Her striking is not the best. I do think that she has holes in the feet. She's a very tough girl, though. You know, she knows what she's. You know what you're gonna do. You know what she's gonna do. She's gonna go after the takedown. That's what she's gonna do. She does it every fight. Grasso doesn't have the best takedown defense. Marcos took her down. Her striking's obviously better, but I mean, I think her ass is gonna be on the mat the whole fight. So, I got Suarez. I think it's gonna be by domination. Does she get a finish? I don't know. She has a very nice, good anaconda choke, but I'm gonna have to go with Suarez by 30-27 decision. And
Can I
watch
say
out
something real quick before we move on? When you're really, really, really good at something, it's okay to have holes in your striking. Look at Khabib. He's a champion. So look at Conor. Really good at striking, has some holes in his grappling. It happens.
Yeah, but Khabib's striking's actually improved a lot.
And it's the women's division. I think you can get by right now with being really, really good at just one thing. But whatever.
Yeah, Khabib's striking is actually like pretty decent though. You know, like I don't think Suarez's striking is that good. I think Khabib's striking is pretty damn good. I mean, it's improved a lot. Maybe Suarez striking. Actually, to be honest, Suarez striking looked pretty improved last fight against Pereira. It did. Her striking didn't look that good before that, but last fight it looked better. So you know what? Maybe her striking looked better this fight. Obviously, she's she needs to set up her her takedowns by striking with Grasso a little bit, but Grasso doesn't have any answer off her back. So I got Suarez with domination. Hopefully, we get plus money on Suarez in the future. I don't know. Maybe if she fights like Herod or something, but that'll be another day. Next fight, we got Usman versus Damian Maia, the main event. This is a very good fight. I've been actually going back and forth, and it's kind of funny because Usman's a huge favorite, but I've been really going back and forth. It's a freaking hard fight for me to call, but I'm gonna have to go with Usman. Him and Colby are similar fighters. Colby dominated him, and I think Usman could actually get him out of there. It's a 5-round fight. Usman's striking's definitely improved a lot. Maia, he's on the decline for sure. I don't know when he's gonna retire. He's a very tough guy. Usman in the distance could actually be a pretty sneaky play if it's like plus money, because I don't know if Maia's chin's going to be able to hold up. I know Usman's striking is obviously like not legit, but I mean, I just think all the damage that Maia's done and he's getting older, I think that, Usman could actually knock him out. I don't think Maia's going to take him down. I think Usman could actually get him down, but I'm worried because Usman's only loss was, the guy took his back and choked him out. And Damian Maia likes to take the guy's back, man. So it's an interesting fight. Damian Maia's live for sure, but I'm gonna have to go with Usman. I think Usman's gonna go out there and actually get a finish. But I hope Usman loses because Colby will absolutely just go to town on Usman on Twitter, and I want to see that so bad. So I got Usman, but I hate Usman, by the way. I just don't like his trash talk. I think he's a douche. I don't like the whole 30% thing. Like, bless you. You got to go out there and give your 100% every fight. Like, don't say, oh, it's just 30%. Like, I hope Maia chokes him out so bad. But I think Usman's going to beat him. I think he's just, too big for him, too powerful. But if Maia taps him out, dude, that'll be legit. What about you?
You know how I've already texted you. I got Usman all the way. Like you said, Usman and Colby are very similar fighters, so he pretty much just needs to take a page off of his book, do what he did, and 5 rounds against Usman I think is going to be a lot. He's getting beating after beating after beating, coming off of 2 straight losses, and his competition ain't getting any easier, and he's taking the fight. He's taking a fight no other welterweight wants to take. Usman, I think he's kind of like the black Colby Covington of the 170 division. He's kind of a douchebag. He sucks at talking shit. I don't know. That whole 30% thing was kind of like I think it was like a communication barrier. Like, because I don't know if he was really meaning that he only tried 30%, or if he was feeling 30%. Maybe he wasn't feeling that well that day. I don't know what the fuck he tried to say by that. But I'm not gonna hold it against him because I do think he's a good fighter. Him and Colby probably got the best grappling in the division, man. I don't know who's better. I can't wait to see them fight. but yeah, I got Usman in this fight just because I think he's just going to do exactly what Colby Covington did, and yeah, man, if he doesn't get the finish, I think it could be a dominant decision. But like you said, Damian Maia is live, man. He's a jiu-jitsu master, and he's able to get the back anytime and choke you out. So, so I wouldn't put. I don't really think on Usman is worth it, you know. So, but I do have him for the pick, and my bet only have one so far in the units at -155. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got 4 units on Cummings and 4 units on Cannonier. One thing I want to say before you leave is I was going to bet Ponzi versus Usman. I thought Ponzi would actually knock him out, but it's not happening. So, yeah. All right, guys. We'll be back for next week. Check our Twitters because I'm probably going to have one more play on Luque. We'll see, you know, what his in the distance props is. And next week, I believe we have UFC Liverpool, which is a very good card, you know, and there's some really good fights on there. We both have some potential plays, and yeah, we'll be back. Later, guys.